So welcome to the latest episode of the Talking Balls podcast. So it's the weekly podcast for snooker fans. Comes out every Wednesday morning. And I'm Michael Wright. I'm your host on Twitter as Righto74. And I'll let Lee, my co-host, introduce himself.
Yeah, hi everyone. Welcome. We've got a great young talent with us tonight. So really looking forward to a chat.
And the great young talents, that's a nice way in there. So no pressure, and we've all been looking forward to talking to you actually, and I think that obviously promising career ahead of you, and it'd be good to hear from you a bit about how you're finding things so far. But our guest today is it does need an introduction, or else you won't know who we're talking to. So it's Stan Moody. So just a big welcome, Stan, and thanks for joining us today.
Oh, no problem. No problem.
So where do we find you? I know you've been busy, and obviously on social media there's been some pictures with Shaun Murphy, and I know you've been to Leicester a few days. What are you up to, and what have you been up to the last couple of days?
Like you say, we've been down to Leicester to meet Shaun. He offered to help us, which is nice, like with loads of experience, what he's got. So it was nice, really. Someone who's recognised as knows that I'm a talent, so hopefully can push me on.
How did that come about then? Is that something that somebody introduced you to him, or has he just become aware of you and reached out? How did that all happen?
An exhibition in Beverley. I went to play, and he knew that we were going, so we had a little chat, and he just said, "Listen, I want to help. I feel like I can help you. It can last for however long you want." So yeah, that's how it started. Yeah,
and that's a really important thing for a young player. Somebody like Shaun bags experience and knows everything about the game. That's invaluable for you for your future.
Yeah, very good.
So what sort of things have you covered then? I mean, I don't know if you can give away any of your trade secrets, but what kind of things have you covered over the days that you've been there that you found helpful? Is it all about the technical side of the game? Do you talk about how you handle from a mindset point of view? What kind of things do you do?
Everything really. Just little gems about every situation in a match. Everything, new routines, stuff like that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, I think for me, when we do these podcasts, it's interesting because I'm the non-player. I mean, I'm, very, very, when you get amateur, there's a whole range of amateur that was pro the other week, but isn't pro now. And then there's amateur, which is got a cue with the same tip that's been on there 25 years and gets it out and stuff. So I'm at that end of it. But Lee is more, Lee has got a lot more experience. So I think I'm really interested in almost the minutiae of what you do, because I just don't know what snooker players do away from the table. Whereas I think Lee can kind of get more into, some of how you train, etc. Well, what sort of commitment? I mean, obviously, I'm presuming that you're busy with kind of studying as well. I don't know. I mean, how do you divide your time at the moment between, hopefully building the early stages of a career, as well as, any other commitments you've got? How do you cope with that?
Well, my school, it started off, 5 days a week from year 7 till like halfway through year 8. And then my dad went in school and said, "Listen, we need a bit of time off to practice." He showed him some videos and he said, "No problem." And then so I had Mondays and Fridays off, and now it's gone down to 2 days a week at school. I'm not really interested in it, to be honest. I'm just focused on snooker, but so it's 5 days a week practicing. So yeah, the school's helped a lot. They're very understanding about practicing and dedication and stuff, so they don't pressure me into anything homework wise. So yeah, it's perfect.
So when you have to go into school, Stan, is it a little bit of a slog having to be at school? Would you rather be playing snooker and practicing?
Yeah. Just do stuff to pass the time.
Yeah, just put the hours in at school and then get back to the snooker.
Yeah.
What do people at school think of the snooker? Because if there's anything that we sometimes talk about as a theme, it's almost about the youngsters coming through and whether there's a good supply line. And, you know, you always hear about the kind of the so-called glory days, and then you hear about the class of 92. But we often think, well, actually, you know, is there a good group of players coming through? Is it something people still want to do? How did you get into it, and how do you find people react when they know that you're so big into your snooker? What started you off?
Went on holiday in 2015, and there were a pool table next to our room. My dad said, "Oh, do you want to give this a go?" So I did. He just showed me how to make a bridge, and then within like 2 or 3 days, I was clearing table. So then when we came back to England, I said I want to go to a snooker club. We only went for a bit, but I loved it. So then I stopped playing football. I said, I don't love football, but I love snooker. So we stopped the football and committed to the snooker.
And I think you've only been playing 6 years, am I right, Stan? So, you know, in that 6 years, you've really came a long way with your game. You must have put a lot of hard work in.
Oh yeah, obviously, when I was younger, I wasn't like not dedicated, but like it was more of a fun type thing. But now it's more of a job, so you've still got to find ways of enjoying it. You know, like if you're having a bad bit of form or results aren't going your way, it's hard to keep motivated. But you've just got to tell yourself, look at the bigger picture and just enjoy it.
Yeah.
So were you big into football? You said that you've almost chose to leave football behind. You weren't really enjoying it. Were there other sports that you were interested in, but you sacked them off a bit?
No, it was just football, really. Just, you know, little kid at school with his mates, having a kick about, and then I got better and better. But then, you know, once I found snooker, it was so much better. So, no, I'm not really a sporty person, but I just love this sport. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, what do the guys at school think then, in terms of, you know, it's not maybe the most obvious thing that somebody of your age might be doing, you know, not being funny, but it's not the first thing you think of all the time.
Yeah.
What do people say when they know that's what you're doing?
There's more people recognising it now, like my mates and stuff and teachers, because they saw me on TV at shootout. Always asking now, but they don't make a big fuss of it. I don't like it when they do, to be honest. But yeah, my mates know what I do and stuff. So yeah.
It sounds to me, Stan, that you like to sort of stay in the background a bit, but when it comes to your snooker, you very much like to be centre of attention, because you really lapped up the atmosphere at the shootout, and you done fantastic, didn't you, at the shootout?
Yeah, I did good. It were more like just, you know, try and pot some balls more than it's my first time. It were weird, because it was like I wasn't going out with any expectation whatsoever. It was just enjoy it, you know. Hopefully I can be there soon, so use it more as an experience. So yeah. So
How did people respond to you then? It's obviously, you know, you come up against a pretty accomplished player in the first game, and you know that was your, I think you're the youngest ranking event winner, or youngest player to win a game in a ranking event. Is that right? I think.
Don't think so. I don't think so. It were I think Ben Mertens, I think.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
So,
okay. Oh, I might have read that wrong. Unless it's the first British one, maybe that's the one.
maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, how did the whole event? You know, how did people respond to you? Because obviously, you came in, and as Lee said, you just came in and looked as if nothing was going to phase you. You just looked like you were taking it all in. That must have been the biggest stage you've been on, I'm presuming. Yeah. Is that just you anyway? Do you just take everything in your stride? Are you pretty chilled, or did you work hard on how you were going to approach that?
Not really. I was more, when I watched it back on telly, I was more shocked with how I looked, because inside it was totally different. So yeah, I didn't really prepare mentally, to be honest. I just went in and played. So yeah.
It's quite hard to mentally prepare for a one-frame shootout. You know, anything can happen, and even sometimes you might not even get a chance.
Yeah.
But the first chance you got at the table was after the break, and you potted a great long red. You made 26. with a lot of good pots, and you'll really look comfortable walking around the table.
Yeah, I didn't really feel it. I was out of position all the time. It were a nightmare, but the table were that fast, it just kept catching me out. So
yeah,
my cue ball's usually a bit better than that, but so yeah.
It's so difficult, isn't it, when the table's so fast and you only need to overhit or underhit a little bit, and then you got a harder pot.
Yeah.
So it's really difficult. But then you played Ollie Lines, didn't you? And I watched that, and you were geeing up the crowd before he started the frame. So it seemed that you loved the atmosphere.
Yeah. I knew they'd be on my side, so I thought get them pumped up a bit more. Maybe scare Ollie a bit. He just told me. I had like one good chance, but I messed it up. So in that format, if you get a chance, you've got to punish. Otherwise, you don't really deserve to win. So
yeah, I think Ollie's experience in the end shone through, because it was 11-2 the scoreline in that frame. So you could have got a chance late on, but you never seemed to get into the frame at all, did you?
No, look, every ball what I missed rattled really.
Yeah.
And it's like his dad Peter said to me after it went, if one of them go in, you win. Simple. So another day they'd have gone in, but it's all part of experience.
Yeah.
And Ollie anyway, don't you? I mean, do you play up in the Northern Snooker Centre, I think, don't you, up around your way?
Yeah, I did a lot when I was younger, going over the comps, because that's where the best juniors were. Obviously, I've got a different club now, Levels in Huddersfield. They help me. They've got a star table in there. Sponsor Sam Craigie, Jordan Brown now. So when Jordan comes over, that'll be good practice for me. But yeah, we used to go a lot there, play Peter, Sanderson and all that. So yeah.
So who do you get to play now, Stan? Do you get to play some professionals?
Yeah, Sam Craigie at Levels. We sometimes go down to Dings Academy on a weekend and play Chinese boys down there. That's so good. Because if you miss, you're not getting back to the table. So you learn the mental side as well, like good temperament and all that. So yeah, that's it really. But we're trying to get more people in, more like higher ranked people. Obviously Shaun Murphy will be giving me games. I think he's trying to get some other players in. So yeah, that'd be good.
What have you taken from Shaun so far? I mean, if he does get to watch or listen to this, maybe he'd like to know what you've taken from him. But what have you taken from the time you spent with him so far?
Mainly what a class guy he is. Just wanting to help. He didn't have to. He's not getting out of it. He's just purely helping me, which that's very good. So and I'm willing to put the work in and listen. Because if you don't, it's just a waste of time. So, it's everything really.
I mean, that's something we've had, obviously you probably know, but we've had a few of the guys on now who do a lot of the mental side, the psychological side, and Noel Flannery being one of them who, I think. So, again, I don't know how much of that you think is important in the game, or almost the balance between that and being able to play. Although that said, you're already capable of massive breaks anyway. I mean, you've got big breaks on your CV, haven't you?
Yeah, but I think the mental side's more important than the actual playing side. Because if your head's not right, you can't play. You ask any player, once they bang the cue, their head's gone, they can't play. So if you can keep that in control and you're good enough, anything can happen if you're positive.
Yeah, that's sorry, Stan. That's right. You're exactly right what you say about the mental side. If you're not quite on it, you can actually, when you're over the shot, talk yourself into missing the ball. But if you're feeling really confident, the opposite can happen. You can talk to yourself into potting a really hard ball. Yeah. So it's amazing how the mind works, isn't it?
Yeah, Noel's helped me a lot with that. Just like once I've played the shot, it's not in your powers to decide what happens. It's the game. The game decides, and you've just got to accept whatever happens because you can't change it. it's just and it's simple really, but as a player you'll know it's like it's so hard to just say it doesn't matter because it means everything. You've got to play like it means no. So
yeah, I've heard that. Well, not even just in snooker, but I've heard that from some coaches about, you know, almost looking forward to winning and looking forward to the feeling of doing well and delivering rather than slowing down because you fear the loss. And almost it seems that you could go either way, doesn't it, on that?
Yeah, definitely. It depends how you're feeling. If you're feeling good up there, you'll be just get on with it, just playing pot balls. So
is that something in the short time you've had with him? Is that something that Shaun, you get a feeling that he works on as well in terms of the mental side?
Yeah, I'd say so. At that level where he is, if you've got to be perfectly, said it wrong. You've got to be mentally perfect, otherwise it's going to be tough because everybody else is. You know, at that level you want to perform, and if you don't, it can be destroying. So you've just got to say to yourself, accept whatever happens.
So Stan, I've seen you play on YouTube like a few exhibition matches and stuff, and obviously the big one that I seen was the Ronnie exhibition match. You played a blinder there, didn't you? You were 60 up, and I think he cleared up, didn't he?
Thanks for reminding me. Yeah.
He just does what Ronnie does.
Yeah, I shouldn't have missed the blue, to be honest. I wouldn't say I twitched it, but I knew if I potted that I won, so there were a bit of pressure on it. But yeah, like that were another good experience. I didn't expect out there either. Just a little lad trying to pot some balls. So yeah, it was good.
And did you get the chance to speak to Ronnie after the match? Did they have some kind words for you?
Yeah, before he walked out, I was stood where he was walking out, and he just said, "Keep going. You're a future star." So yeah.
Fantastic.
To be fair, that's all you need, really, isn't it? Just that line from, you know, arguably the best player to play. I mean, we've all got our opinions, but to have that from somebody with his magnitude, it must be a massive booster.
Yeah, at the time it was. I was young, and it was like it's Ronnie, and so yeah, it was good to hear.
I suppose, Stan, you know, at your age, you're still young, but you're getting great experience by playing professionals and stuff like that. So, you know, given a few years' time, you're not going to be overawed by playing these guys, you know, because you played them so young. No,
like even my first matches, I wasn't. I think my first ever exhibition was with Mark Allen, and I were only like 10 or 11. And I was a bit then, but you know, as you get playing the better players, it's like, you know, it's just the norm. They're not like your heroes anymore; they're your enemies. So it becomes a different mindset.
Yeah, I got that impression just from listening to you, and even when you just said there that at the time it was nice hearing that from Ronnie, as if to say, well, now he's a competitor. He's another person who I need to beat, and I need to get on the tour and to play against. So
yeah.
To me, he's another player just like everyone else. It sounds like you're at that level already where you're thinking, I know I've got the game. I just need to get the chances and get on there so that I can apply myself now.
Yeah, there's so much more to do though. You know, I'm nowhere near yet. My game's, you know, so much to improve, and like with the mental side, so much to work on there. So I wouldn't say I'm ready yet, but in the future, hopefully, like say, if I get the chance, hopefully I can deliver. Yeah.
Just going back to you saying about your game, Stan, what aspects of your game do you think you need to improve? Is it maybe safety, or because you seem to pot and break ball really well? Yeah,
my safety needs work. We're working on that with Shaun, obviously, because it's one of like the most important things.
Yeah.
If your safety lets you down at this level, it's game over. So, that probably, because my scoring's good, my long point's good, rest play's good. So that's probably the main thing to work on. Yeah.
Yeah, and on the mental side, is there anything in particular that you find you have to work on more? Is it about we talk sometimes about, almost losing the game from the chair, almost losing your cool or whatever, or overthinking things. Is there anything around that you think is an area that you're paying more attention to than anywhere else?
Every bit of it, to be honest. But one of the main things, like I said earlier, is acceptance. When a shot goes wrong, you can't change it. So it's just like, why get mad about something you can't change? But when, like you say, when you sat in your chair, it's a lonely place. There's no one there to talk to you, to get you out of it. You've just got to speak to yourself and just get a grip. It's a snooker match at the end of the day. It's not end of the world if anything, like you lose happens, or you miss an easy ball. It's just getting in the right mindset.
Yeah, and I guess the last kind of the bigger competition that you've been playing in lately, I guess, was Q School, really, wasn't it, in terms of trying to get through this year? How do you reflect on that experience? I mean, you had some success, but obviously ultimately didn't get where you wanted to get to. How do you look back at it? What did you take from that?
I don't know, to be honest. I was going through a lot at the time, so I wasn't expecting a lot. But so when I got a few results, I took them. So yeah, it wasn't the best year for me there. They haven't before, but I'm only young. I couldn't get going. My rhythm was spoiled by certain things. I want me, really, but hopefully I can improve that this year and get back on it next year.
And obviously, there's a few avenues onto the pro tour, Stan. Would you consider maybe going to the Europeans and stuff to try and gain your card that way? Yeah,
we've been invited last few years, but certain things have stopped us going. It's not just as easy as jump on a plane and go win it. There's so many different things. So when we've got a load of people to help us with that, with sponsors and all that, but they don't really make a dent in what we need. We still appreciate everything what they do for us, but we're always looking for people to help us. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and even on the tour, I mean, again, the number of players we've spoken to have said that in the lower ranks on the tour, it's actually quite hard to make a living. And we've had lots of debates really about the prize money for the early rounds in the ranking events, and how you have to go quite a long way to make it pay, really, don't you? So, not to put you off, obviously, you must believe that at some point your time will come where you can progress and you can make it wait. I did get a question. I did put on Twitter, did anyone have any questions for you? And one person, Danielle is the name on the Twitter account, and just said, did you have a plan B just in case for any reason the professional career didn't come to be in? Is there a plan B? Is there anything else you've got in your locker?
A load of people have said this, and we spoke to different people about it, but my opinion of it is, if you've got a plan B, you're doubting. You're thinking, what if? And you can't think like that as a snooker player. You've got to just think, this is what I want to do, and be positive about it again. I'm not really, if I'm being honest, I'm not bothered about GCSEs at all. It's just my snooker. So other people will, but I know if I do the right things, I can do it. So there's no point.
Yeah.
But once you start doubting yourself, that's it, really.
Yeah, I thought it was an interesting question, because I think you perhaps wouldn't ask that of somebody who was 20 or 21. And they're still very early as well and young in the game. But I think maybe where you are, it's natural to maybe ask that. But actually, as you say, you've got a single-minded vision. You've got a belief in yourself. And for the talent you've clearly got, I mean, I don't know, I'm not a player, as I said to you, I watch it, but you've clearly got ability at and not even just your age, but even not been playing all that long, and you've got all of that in the bag. So clearly you've got it, and it's just about how you can turn that into results and get the whole setup right. So it sounds like you're putting all the bits together now, and obviously hoping that you'll get your break.
Yeah, obviously we've got Noel, Shaun, my technical coach, Neil Johnson from Liverpool. He's unbelievable. We're trying to do everything right. and obviously Noel helps us with the eating side, sleeping, drinking side. So that's all very important. Neil's a big help. Shaun, obviously now that's perfect. We've got a good team. So hopefully, if I put the work in, we reap the rewards.
Yeah, you've certainly got the best chance possible, Stan. You're surrounded with good people. Obviously, your family, great sponsors. As you say, you've got a good team behind you. So it's really up to you now, isn't it?
Yeah, I am willing to put the work in, whatever it takes, really, because I want it so bad.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do you tend to look out? You said about levels. You're more based there, and you're doing stuff at Ding's Academy as well. But do you think you'll look out for each other and work with each other? So obviously Jordan Brown coming over. You said you were looking forward to him coming, and obviously he had that massive win, didn't he, over Ronnie the other year, and kind of nobody really expected it. And he's been on here. He was just such a lovely fella, so open, so almost humble, really, despite the fact that he's won a ranking event and done so well. Do you look out for each other there? Do you think that's something that, again, even if you're not kind of coaching or being coached by him, that just something will rub off by being in the same club and getting used to being around him, people like that?
Yeah, definitely. Like, as I've been growing up, I've been playing better players, and I think if I hadn't played them players, I wouldn't be as good as I am. I'm not being arrogant there or anything. I don't think my game would have come on as much, because you don't even know what you're learning. You just do it naturally. So yeah, the better players you play, the more you'll improve. And like Jordan, he's perfect. So yeah.
And I suppose, sorry, Mike. I suppose you speak of Jordan Brown, Stan, and what an example Jordan is. Obviously, winning the Welsh and beating Ronnie in the final. It just shows you what's possible.
Yeah, anything can happen on the day. That's snooker. You can get beat by anyone. You can win anyone. Yeah.
Do you get time to watch a lot then, Stan? I mean, I guess that I don't know whether you get time as a fan, or whether you, even a few years ago, whether you went to events or went to the Crucible and soaked it in as a fan, or has it been more just since you've got the bug, it's all about the playing and practicing?
Yeah, my dad always said to me, "Do you want to go and watch snooker?" Like, he said, "We'll go down to London and watch Masters," but I said no, because that's taking time off my practice. I sort of regret that now. We've only ever been to Crucible once this year. Yeah, I just always wanted to practice. I was never into sitting there and watching. I'd rather be playing. So, yeah.
What rounds did you go to for the? Did you go for the single table setup, or did you go in the with the two tables?
No, we went with Mark Allen to watch him.
Oh, okay.
Against Scott Donaldson at first night. Because we were in Sheffield with some friends, so we decided we'll go watch him and stuff. So that were a good day. You don't realise how small it is until you're there. They make it look quite big on telly, but it's so tiny.
Yeah, that was my first time I've been to Crucible was this one. And as you say, you walk in and you think, this is incredible that it just looks so tight. And even, especially with two tables, when they take up the kind of divide and they make it one, and you think, how the heck can you get two in there? Never mind, you've only got one room for one.
I know.
And I like the bit where the players sat next to each other, because they don't really get that in the other tournaments.
No.
But again, that must be a bit of a weird one.
Yeah, it's just a different place, isn't it? Special event. So, yeah.
So do you think when you're sitting in that seat in the Crucible stand, you'll be talking to your opponent?
No.
In the first rounds, no, absolutely not.
There was no doubt about that answer.
Single-minded.
Yeah.
Like it.
So what's next for you then, Stan? In terms of you're obviously snooker season's kind of starting up again, and we're just talking about the Championship League, etc. I mean, what's coming up, and you got involvement with there. What else are you up to?
Well, we've still got a few tournaments left like the EPSB finals weekend. I'm in the English under 16 and 18 final, so I've got them to play, and then the new season starts again with all like the under 21 Prem Tour, Pro-Ams. It's everything now, so we're busy every weekend.
I think you're the current champion. Are you defending?
That's English under 14s.
All right.
So I've won that twice. That the first one were very good to win. To defend it were, sort of even better. So the under 16s, that's a big one. Under 18s, even better. So I'm just looking forward to them, really.
What's the standard like? I mean, going back to our earlier questions about, almost the state of the sport coming through. We're seeing a lot of the Chinese players coming through and the academy work. And then you'll get the natural question, well, what's it like for British talent? And we've had Liam Davies on. We had Liam on a little while ago. And again, he kind of talked about the work he's doing and his hopes and future. Are you see what kind of standard are you seeing? I mean, I'm imagining you probably stand out among your age group, but are you seeing other players of a similar age that are looking promising?
Yeah, like say Liam is probably like, he's up there. He's very, very good. Yeah, there's a few, like 19, 20-year-olds, some of them that could like sort of easily turn pro. So it's not as bad as people think. So yeah, there's definitely some that could come along and, take on these Chinese boys. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. Yeah,
it's easy, isn't it? Almost just to kind of just assume that things aren't happening at a more junior level, but unless you're in it and you see what's going on, then you're not talking from an informed point of view, are you? You're obviously just taking what you've read on Twitter or something and making assumptions. So that's good. That's quite heartening to know then. And Lee, I mean, I know from obviously the Scottish game, you're probably more involved in yourself, and there's a few youngsters coming through the Scottish game as well, isn't there, that you've got to watch for eye on?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got Liam Graham, obviously, Scotland. Dean Young, is on the tour. Sam Mackay, Stephen Wardroper. You probably have heard some of these names, Stan. But we've got some bright prospects in Scotland, and it's just a matter of time, I think.
So I guess, I mean, we'll probably come on to our little quickfire round soon. So we do our clear in the colours, where we just do 7 questions, and you pop the ball for each question. But before that, I guess it would be quite nice to know, really, you've talked a little bit about what can help further your game, and a lot of the background is there. But in terms of anybody watching this who thinks, we really wish Stan well, we want to give them the best start you can. Is it around the sponsorship side? Is it around, kind of almost getting behind you in that way that people can get involved?
Yeah, we've got a few sponsors. Collets, they've helped us a lot. Levels, they've given us a star table, obviously, free light. They pay us into Q School. So,
Wow.
White Cottage Cars, they've helped a lot. But it's so expensive now. Even for one trip, it's so much money. So yeah, if you want to get involved, that's fine. We could do with the help, but we appreciate everything. So yeah.
Yeah, it's worth putting out there, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. Yeah. Well, yeah. So obviously, you're quite active anyway, I think. Which is it you use the most? I know you're active on Instagram, aren't you?
Yeah, Instagram. Stan Moody 147. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So it's a fine Stan on there, and also, if not, or if you want to know more, you can always come through here and we'll pass stuff on. So any help, any assistance, I guess would be really greatly appreciated.
Or Nigel Moody on Facebook. That'd probably be a bit better. You speak to my dad, so yeah. Yeah,
does your dad want to say anything? I know you've been keeping him in the corner there. Does he want to say anything, or is he banned?
If you want to ask him something, yeah, he can speak.
Nigel, you must be really proud of your lad there. He's a real credit to you. The way he speaks, the maturity, and I don't mean that to sound condescending, because I don't mean it at all, but he just speaks with such clarity and focus. You must be really proud.
Yeah, I am. I am really proud of him. He's like Nigel Bond once said to me, "You've got a wise head on young shoulders." There, he says, "I've never seen anything like him. The way he deals with, interviews, and that's just the other side of him. He's a monster on the table, as we know." But he just takes everything in his stride. He doesn't shout about he doesn't set himself up for a fall. He's really, really grounded. Whether he wins or loses, he has the same respect for other snooker players. Yeah, I'm super proud of him. Obviously, yeah.
Have you played much yourself, Nigel? I mean, I don't. A lot of players come from a family where there's a lot of background anyway in the sport, or is it more? You said there about pool almost got him into it, but do you dabble a bit yourself?
I used to play pool a bit, but snooker. If you force me hand and you want to see a spectacular long blow, I might get some belters that way with a terrible cue action. But no, you've got to be able to cue straight, haven't you, for this game?
It's great. It's great that he's got the support, and I guess it must be nice for you to know that you're building a bit of a group around him, really, to help him to take those next steps and hopefully see him accomplish what he wants to accomplish.
We're so lucky. We're so lucky. Like, as mentioned, his technical coach Neil Johnson is so much to make his cue action smoother and time the ball better. Noel Flannery. I know there's a lot of mind coaches out there, and I don't know them all, but I can't imagine anybody being much better. And if there are, whoever they're working with is super, very, very lucky. We've got and now Shaun. I mean, Stan have gone into everything we've done this weekend, but we've got other players. He's mentioned Liam Davis. Davis, what a talent from Wales, and Mark Williams is helping him. And we felt like we were missing out a little bit. So when Shaun sort of took him under his wing, we feel like a bit more like on an even keel now.
Yeah.
Shots that, I mean, Stan's got every shot in the book. You can ask Shaun that, but little things in matches at certain times, some of the stuff he's shown him this weekend is incredible, and and we're so grateful. We're so grateful to him. It's super, and the funny thing is, he looks like him, doesn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
Me, honestly, yes. So good. But Shaun is so down to earth, right? I didn't really like him before I met him. I don't know why. I told him this weekend. I don't know why, but he's so good, so straightforward. Won't have Stan being lazy at all. Leaves no stone unturned. He's been on the tour all that time, and that's invaluable to us. It's no matter how good a player is, you've got to get ready for tour, haven't you now? That's the reality. So with Shaun in his corner, we feel like we've got a much better chance than we did a few weeks ago. So yeah, it's all good. It's all brilliant. We're super chuffed.
Yeah, I mean, a world champion kind of coming out and saying, come and spend some time with us. It's incredible, isn't it? I suppose it's also feeling almost more welcomed into the family as well. I mean, it's quite a small community in a way, isn't it, when you get to that level?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. We're super, super lucky.
Oh, brilliant! That's really good. We'll ask Stan some questions then, Nigel, if you don't mind. But it's great meeting you as well, and obviously Stan's fortunate to have such a supportive family around him as well.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks, Nigel.
Right, Stan, these are fairly easy, honestly, and not going to kid you. They're not quiz questions. It's more about your views on different things around the sport. So clearing the colours. So for the yellow then, so the first question, just wonder who you find the funniest player, either a player you've met or just somebody you've heard about. Is there anyone that sticks out as the funniest player?
Probably Wembo, the young Wembo. Just the way, like, when he's winning, shouting out, some of the faces he pulls. Yeah, he's probably him, yeah.
Right, they easily dispatched there, Lee. We're on to
that was green. An easy one. Green ball, Stan. I know you've said earlier on that you're not much a sitter and watcher in snooker, but what's your favourite venue away from the Crucible?
Ali Pali, I'd say. It's just the one table setup, the best in the world. It just looks amazing.
Yeah, that's come up a couple of times. Yeah, definitely. I guess not too far from your way, you've got the Barbican as well, haven't you? It's have you had a chance to play there in anything yet?
No. Might be a few years yet. Never been to watch.
Right. Yeah, that's a nice venue.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the yellow and green, the brown. So let's go for it. So, who do you think the next person? You might want to name yourself, but let's see where you go with this. Who do you think the next player to win their first world title will be?
I
mean, it's putting you on the spot there.
Hopefully me.
Yeah. Yep.
Probably not sound like he's not good enough rope, but Xing Tong could be close. Bing Tao. I think Bing Tao will win it before Xing Tong. I don't think Xing Tong's got the game for the long matches, whereas Yan's willing to do anything. Whereas Zhao, if he's not potting him, I don't think he's very, stick with it. So possibly Yan, I'd say. Yeah,
again, quite a common answer there. Have you managed to play him at the academy as well? Have you been down to play him?
No, he plays at Victoria's. We don't really go to Victoria's. Dings, we prefer Dings. It's more open. Right. More players there, so.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the brown done. So going swimmingly so far. So Lee, I'm going to come back to Lee. I don't know whether we. You'll find out in a minute, Stan, why I'm deliberating. I don't know whether we change this one because it's hard enough for most players.
Yeah, I mean, Michael said at the start of this that these are pretty simple questions, but I think this is a tricky blue. So here we go. Anyway, here we go. Which actor would you get to play you in a film of your life? I know it's only 15 years in the making, but which actor?
I mean, to be honest, I reckon Tom Hanks could play you now. Anyway, he can play everyone.
Any actor to play me in a film?
Yeah, any actor.
Probably Sylvester Stallone. I love him.
Oh, good one. Good one. Yeah, it's you're going to work on the physique to get looking like him.
Might be a while.
It might hinder your snooker stand, so I would back off the weights.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cue action might suffer, mightn't it? Yeah. Okay, well, look, we're on to the ping. You make an easy work of this, to be honest. We said about the funniest player, and you might already know the next question, but the nicest player. You've already mentioned someone who's really taken time out to help you, but you've mentioned a few people. Is there one person that sticks out as just the best all-round good egg or nicest player that you've met?
Nigel Bonds up there. He's retired now, but he helps us a lot. He's a lovely fella. We've met so many players that you get the odd one that's a bit sour or jealous or something like that, but the majority of them are good.
Yeah.
Even at shootout, Bosman come up to me and said, "Well done, good luck, keep going." So it's hard to name specific ones, but Nigel Bonds up there. Mark Allen's very nice. Obviously Shaun. So we've met that many people and pros. It's hard to name, but they're probably the top ones.
Yeah, and in a way, you kind of said there, some people are a bit sour or maybe jealous or whatever. I guess there's an element of you with the talent you've got at your age where you might just ruffle a few feathers. And you might find that some players feel a bit aggrieved if they lose to you or you're giving them a hard time. But I guess from the personality you look like you've got, that's just going to spur you on anyway.
Yeah, I'm sort of like good at forgetting things. Like if something bad happens, it's just like forget it, it's done. Obviously, it doesn't work like that in matches sometimes. That's what I'm working on. But yeah, I'm just chilled out. Really, I don't get excited about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, good way to be. All right, you're on the black, so I'm going to go back to Lee for this one.
Okay, personally, I think this is just as tricky as it is. So here we go. This to clear up, Stan. Black ball. What would you call your autobiography if you wrote one? It would have to be a short one.
What about Mean and Moody?
Oh,
No.
that was good.
Probably.
It's been rejected, Lee. My offer's been rejected.
Yeah, it might come back to that, Michael.
Give us an hour. I don't know, to be honest. Something like I don't know.
I think we're going with yours, Michael.
Sorry.
No. The only reason we push for that a little bit is because I often use that for the title for the episode. So whatever the people say on that one, I sometimes use it, but it's not a problem. It's quite an unfair question to ask at the end, to be honest. If something occurs to you, let me know, and then I'll stick it in the episode.
Yeah.
Well, look, I mean, I think really all that remains for me is just to give you a big thank you, Stan. You didn't have to do this. I know that you've been busy. You've just been down in Leicester doing a lot of work, and so really, it's just a big thank you from me. I think everyone that we have on here, we really grow to like, and we really wish them well, and want them to go on from strength to strength, and that's exactly what I would say from my point of view. I just want you to really just keep going for it, sticking at it. The self-belief is already there. We can see it. And just wish you well. You know, I just hope that things unfold for you in the right way, and wish you the best. You seem a great lad. You've got a good dad there, and just the very best of luck, really, from us.
Cheers. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for your time, Stan. Your head's screwed on, and you've got a great team round about you. So we'll look forward to seeing those results coming in.
Cool. Thank you.